everybody. I am Kymberly Castro, and today I wanted to discuss the topic of worthiness, particularly what it feels like to feel unworthy of something. So that's been the theme for this week in the group about feeling unworthy. Um, just I don't feel worthy of whatever. There's so many different levels. So today I wanted to just discuss right now what that looks like, and maybe we could, as you're listening to this, whether it's the recording or live, that you actually just take a moment to, if this is one of your struggles, to actually go within. And I always like to tell people and my clients to don't just ask yourself the question, really just kind of take a few deep breaths, always calm your energy. Take a few deep, gentle breaths, connect to yourself, to your heart. You could close your eyes, you could leave them open. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. We want you to be safe. So, really connect. So, if you're struggling with feelings of unworthiness, um, what do you feel unworthy of? Because unworthy, I don't feel worthy of what? So right now, let's try to figure that out. I want you to figure out what it is, because once we figure out what it is, what is the core, what's the primary issue about the worthiness or not feeling worthy, then the layers start to fall away. You become aware. You bring to your awareness what's going on. Now you could see it. Now you can figure out, now I know what it is. Now what do I do with it? I can let it go. I can release it. I can throw it out. I can recycle it. But unless you know, it's going to keep on happening. You're still going to, situations going to come up, and you're not going to feel like that you deserve the situation. If you feel unworthy of, say, God's love or the love of somebody, you're always going to feel, is this real? What's this going, you're not going to feel a connection to it. You're always going to be defensive. You're always going to feel disconnected because you don't feel deep down inside, somewhere hiding inside of you, that you are not worthy of this love or this gift. So you're not always going to feel comfortable with that. So I want you to be comfortable with yourself. I want you to understand. You need to understand yourself if you want to heal yourself. And sometimes it could happen instantly. I could help you right now, and something will click within you, and you will know what the reason that you don't feel worthy of something is, what it is. So right now, just ask yourself, what is the main reason I don't feel worthy, or what don't I feel worthy about, or what am I not worthy of? What am I not worthy of? What do I feel I am not worthy of? So take a few deep breaths. So ask yourself right now, what do I not feel worthy of? And just really listen. So you're going to either hear it, you're going to feel it, you're going to know it, you're going to think of a situation or old memory of something that you might not feel worthy of. It could be not worthy of God's love. It could be not worthy of your parents' love. It could be you don't know what it is, but you just don't feel worthy. And that's a lot deeper. And that you might need a little bit help with. And I didn't even realize I had those issues. I didn't feel worthy. I couldn't figure out what it was. And when I dug deep, I was able to figure out my own unworthiness issues. So sometimes if you figure out what it is, if you figure out that I don't feel worthy of God's love, that just happens to be the example I'm using right now. If I don't feel like I'm worthy of God's love, that's the limiting belief. You keep telling yourself, I'm not worthy of God's love. So you might disconnect from God. You might disconnect from praying, or you might not trust or have faith that you're actually going to be worthy of getting the right guidance and the right protection, or the right being sent the right inspiration and direction. So you have to be able to realize, you could either switch it right away if you know that you feel like I am not worthy of God's love. You switch it to the opposite. You tell yourself, you repeat that affirmation, I am worthy of God's love. So whatever you think you're not, if you figure it out, if you intuitively know what it is right now, go ahead. If you know what it is, maybe write it down. If it's I'm not worthy of God's love, you switch that and ask God or the universe, whoever, if you do a prayer to the universe, I now release the intent, the limiting belief. I Hi, Lisa. Welcome. We're just talking about worthiness and feelings of unworthiness right now and how to switch it. So, you would switch it to the opposite in your prayer, in your meditation, and sometimes that could clear it, but you really have to be willing and able and open to know that you are worthy of the healing. That's another issue. We might not realize we might not feel worthy of the healing itself. So if you feel like I'm not worthy of God's love, you can replace it to and let go of I don't feel worthy of God's love and replace it with I feel worthy of God's love. So that's just an example. But a lot of times it's a lot deeper than that. It could be an ancestral pattern that's been passed on from generation to generation, like an imprint in your family from your mother to your grandmother to your great grandmother. There might be something in the family. It might not be you. You don't know why you feel unworthy of whatever, but it might be something that got passed on. So that's a little bit deeper. And it's possible you're welcome. It's possible to figure that out, but sometimes we can't figure it out by yourself. I was able to figure out that stuff by myself, but I'm able to tune into the energy and hear and feel what it needs to be switched and where it needs to be switched. Not everybody has that opportunity or that gift. So that's what I help my clients with. I was able to do it myself. So if this is something that you feel you can't figure out on your own, please PM me, reach out to me, and I'll get you the same results I've gotten my other clients. But if you can't, just go into meditation and prayer and just ask, why do I not feel worthy, or what is making me feel this way? And then if you figure it out, if you hear it, if you dream about it, maybe throughout the night, or it pops up in your head in the next coming days, because sometimes, hey Lisa, um, we're just talking about unworthiness and how to switch that. Sometimes if you know what you feel unworthy about, you could switch that negative I do not feel worthy of God's love to I feel worthy of God's love, or ask the universe, please help me release this limiting belief I am not worthy of God's love to I am worthy of God's love. And it might be something else. You might not feel worthy of uh, your parents' love, whatever it is, whatever that belief is. And sometimes you think you know what it is and you release that layer, but then you next week you realize, yes, that was part of it, but there was something deeper, that core thing at the bottom. So that what we're always trying to get to is the core. If you figure out the core, everything else kind of goes away. But sometimes the healing only comes off in layers. So it is something you need to be patient with. It might not go away at once. It might take time. It might take weeks, months, years. It's different for everyone depending on how open you are to the healing. So to me, anytime you create an intention or a meditation, what I've noticed for me, um, I'll energetically feel shuddering when I release something, or I'm asking to release something or switch a limiting belief, or when I create an affirmation. I feel it. I might get tears. I might feel overwhelmed in my heart. I might feel, you get the goosebumps. So that's another indication that something is happening. Or you might not feel anything at all. If you're not sensitive and you don't know what you're looking for, you might not feel anything at all, but doesn't mean that you didn't put the the order into the universe that you're asking for this change, this transformation, this healing. So if you're like me, you might get the information in your dreams, or you might get symbols and signs throughout the next couple of days that something is shifting, something is coming up. You're having memories of things that bothered you before. That's another indication that things are being released. So don't get stuck on it. Don't go get overwhelmed. Just go, okay, I see that. I acknowledge it, and imagine just releasing and letting it go. So, um, so if you haven't done it, and once you get off and you might have time, I would go sit down or meditate, or tonight or early in the morning when you're first waking up. This is a good time to be in tune with yourself. Close your eyes again and ask, what is it? Why do I feel unworthy, or what do I feel unworthy of? And then once you figure out what that is, ask to switch it to the positive, because we want to be happy. We don't want to walk around not feeling worthy, or overthinking things, or being drained, and not just accepting our life and our happiness. We're always looking like, oh, that's not for me. That's not, you know, just accept it. Just be happy. And I hope this makes sense, because I know a lot of people struggle with feeling unworthy, and you need to figure out, what do you feel unworthy about? And if you don't know, again, it could be an ancestral pattern. If you look back in your family and trace it back, you might realize there's nothing that happened to you, it just got passed on. So that's a little bit deeper stuff that you might need help with. So I could help you with that. PM me, and I hope to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you can figure out, what is it? What do you feel unworthy of? And if this is not one of your struggles, then I'm happy for you. But it might be a struggle for somebody else around you. And it's easy sometimes as just creating the affirmation, switching it to a positive one, and keep repeating it to create that positive pattern. And eventually, with time and patience, it could clear. Sometimes you need a little bit more help, like I said. But hopefully, you're one of the lucky ones that it could just clear once you get in tune with yourself, once you put that order into the universe that you want to let it go. You're ready to release it. So make sure you create the intention, I'm ready to let it go. And wait for the blessings and the love and that new space that you created. Hey, Tammy, we're talking about unworthiness and feelings of just not being worthy of something. And I was about to go off, so I hope you listen to the recording, and many blessings to everybody. If you have a positive, negative idea or unworthiness feeling, we want to switch it. Use the affirmations. Affirmations don't, you have to be open to them, and you actually have to feel and believe them, and you actually have to feel worthy of the healing. That's the big one. A lot of people don't even feel worthy of the healing, that they're even entitled to release it and let it go. That's something else you might have to explore. But for now, if you're feeling, I'm not worthy of my parents' love, I ask to replace it with, I am worthy of my parents' love, or I am worthy of love. And just start to create that pattern, the positive pattern in your mind, in your brain, and your energy, and your spirit. So ready to release, when you're ready to release it, let it go. And I hope this helps. I hope you PM me if you need a little bit more help with anything. I can get you the same results, but you have to be ready. You have to be open, and you have to be, I am done. I can't figure this out. I need help. So if you need help, reach out. If not, try the affirmations, connect to in a meditation, and make sure you just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, really connect to your heart, to your higher self. If you believe in God, a higher power, connect to God, the angels, your higher power, and ask them, help me understand what this limiting belief is. Help me understand what I don't feel worthy about. Help me to release these feelings of unworthiness and replace them with feelings of worthiness. I am worthy of God's love. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of blessings. I'm worthy of healing. Just know you're worthy. Believe it. Believe it. I believe it. Believe it. And I'll keep saying prayers for everybody. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, Tammy. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Lisa. And I'll see you in the group. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.